raise me up to more than I can be.
We should introduce the table tennis phenomenon and Cambridge alumna, Dr. Deng Yaping, who has won 18 world championships, 4 Olympic golds between 1989 and 1997. She's a titan of not just her own sport, but many other sports, and famously beat Benedict Cumberbatch with a spoon, which is quite an achievement. Today, she retains a very strong presence in sports through professional investment. So without further ado, please give a round of applause for Deng.
Good evening, dear President Henry Ford, distinguished guests, union members, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deng Yaping. I'm both honored and humbled to have been invited to speak to you this evening. As never ever since my first time visit in Cambridge nearly 20 years ago. Cambridge, such a beautiful campus, such nice, friendly people here. I proved one of my most significant and beautiful memories in my life. I should like to begin by introducing Xu Zhimo, one of China's greatest poets. He was a visiting scholar to Cambridge University almost a century ago. He loved Cambridge so much. On a return visit in 1928. When he left, he wrote a poem to express his feelings. It was called Saying Goodbye to Cambridge Again, and it's helped out put Cambridge on the map in China. Now, please allow me to try to read a few lines and to see what Cambridge is like in the heart of Xu Zhimo. Very quietly, I take my leave, as quietly as I came here. Quietly, I wave goodbye to the rosy clouds in the western sky. This is a beautiful and romantic picture of Cambridge. But he forgot to mention how challenging it was to study here, which I found out later myself, isn't it? You agree? Years later, I've made personal connection with Cambridge. First, as a language student, and later, I did my PhD degree here. You can see the photos. This is our Newnham Language Center, which is I studied my English there in 1998. That time, I just retired from my professional career. And I couldn't speak English. Even that, I took the money with me in my bag, forwards, the backwards, from the home to the school and to the bank. I even can't open an account to save my money. Thanks. Cambridge is quite a safe place. the money, almost 2 weeks. It's dangerous, isn't it? So many local people, and also many of Chinese as well, recognize me and gave me a lot of help. So I got lots of happy memories that time. See, fame does bring benefits sometimes. After I had studied a few months in Cambridge, little by little, my language skill improved, and I was able to work around. In July, you can see the photos. There are many happy faces and proud of selves. And I was stood there watching them for hours during the graduation ceremony. I think you're quite familiar with the photo, isn't it? But I'm quite happy with them and a little bit jealous about them as well, because I saw so many happy faces, even their relatives, parents, friends. They came over to attend their ceremony. It's more like when we won the medals, when we go to the medal ceremony. I think we got a quite similar feeling, isn't it? But very different. So that time I said to myself, one day I start to daydream. One day I can study in Cambridge. And I said to me, no, probably not. No way. I just learning English here. If I couldn't save my money to the bank, how can I study in Cambridge? And then I quite sadly to saying to myself, probably I have to wait for next life rather than this life. So, daydream finished, and because of the bell rang above the campus, waking me up from my dream. A little bit frustrated for me at that time. Well, almost 20 years has passed. I've come back here today as a proud and a happy Cambridge alumni with my own wonderful memories. I know many of us, including every one of you here, have all kinds of colorful dreams in our lives. Sometimes our dreams can come true. Sometimes they just stay forever as a dream. I'm very lucky that I fulfilled not only my Cambridge dream, but also many other dreams in my life. So my topic for today, let dreams fly. Now I will share with you through 4 different stories, the dreams of my life. The first story, from a little girl to an Olympic champion. When I was a little child, I dreamed to become world champion. One day, I started to play ping pong with my father when I was 5 years old. You can see the pictures. Because I'm too little, too short, I have to stand on the wooden box, and I can reach the table. Otherwise, that time, I'm only one head of table there, like this. I can reach to the table to play. Gradually, I started to win when I was 8. So I can beat most of the same age of players. I should join the provincial team, but I was rejected by the coaches. Do you know why? Exactly. Because I'm too short. And I used to be trained with the team. At the beginning, they asked me to join the team to train. But one day, the coaches asked my father to take me home. And the reasons only that because I'm too short. I won't be good in the future. So you have to take her home. And when I go home, my father told me, would you agree? If you agree, we stop now. If you disagree, you have to become the fighters to show the coaches, your opponents, you are really the best one. So I said to my father, even that time I don't know what the decision for. That time only 10 years old. But I said to my father, I can beat them. But why they stay in the team while I'm out? Simply like that. So I said, I want to continue. And also because I'm so passionate of table tennis. But from that time, I've become very shy, quiet. So I trained extremely hard. You know, in 1980s, still very poor country in China. We trained even in the public bathroom. In the wintertime, minus 10 degrees, you know, in the summertime, we trained in over 40 degrees without any conditioner and heating. But I never quit because I want to win, because I wanted to stick on my dreams to become world champion. Only 3 years later, I won the national champion. And during the games, I beat many national team players and even a lot of world champion. During that training period for 4 years, I usually trained about 13 hours per day, 7 days a week, about 90 hours. And we special used the training method we call multiple training. Before I start, I met 2 our students said they played the ping pong before. And I'm quite happy. You know, play the multiple training, which is the hardest training method in ping pong. What is more, I need to wear the sun vest and to tight sun bags tied to my legs. Do you know how heavy in total? About 15 kilograms. I played the thousands of balls, and when the training finished, when I took off the sun vest and the sun bag from my leg, you know what kind of feeling come out? Yes, exactly. I can fly. I really can moving fast. So, the amazing feelings after that, but that is extremely hard training method. I won the national champion when I was 13 years old, and I should join the national team. But 4 out of 5 coaches in the national team, they disagree. They think I won't have any chance to beat, strong, tall European girls. How can I beat them? Such a little girl. So I was rejected. All coaches been 3 times to talk about my case. I think I'm always make trouble for them. But in the end, the head of coach, Mr. Zhang Xuelin, gave example for others. Said, you think Deng Yaping shortness is a disadvantage, but I have a different way to thinking. Because she is too short, and she can see the ball always higher. So what happening? And I attack all the time without any defense. Many chances, all the chances for me. So I really turn around. The people think I did disadvantage for me, but I turn around to this is really advantage. It really is my personal, specific playing style. And finally, I joined the national team. Less than a half year, I rewarded him with my first women's world title. You can see the photo. In the middle, this is Mr. Zhang Xuelin. He is the head of coach from national team. This is my partner, Chao Hong. This is photo. It's the first world champion when we won. And also, I'm the youngest world champion in ping pong history, which is only 16 years old at that time. Since then, I dominated world women's ping pong. And I continuously to win. And I kept the #1 ranking for 8 years. Before I take a retirement, even the ITTF officials talked to me, why you stop that? If you continue to play, you can capture another 10 years for the #1. So finally, I decided, to take the retirement. But before that, many people, probably you are interested in that, why I'm so good. What kind of tips you can give them. Because I'm alumni of Cambridge. And today I will tell you, but probably you can't learn it. Can you play it? Who can play ping pong? With your hand? Okay, good. Actually, I got 2 tips, if you can learn. First, it's my special attacking skill. And secondly, it's my competitive spirit. You know, I just mentioned, because I'm short, I see the ball always higher. Tacking, and tucking. We have a say in ping pong. The tack is the best defense. Through many years hard training, and I won already few world champion, but I still the hardest trainer in my team. I always the latest one when I finish the training. When I go to the canteen, when the chef saw me, they are very happy because they can end the work. So I'm really should thank them. I'm well looked after by them. Even I always let them late home. You know, for professional athletes, the biggest enemy is the injuries. I'm the same as among so many professional athletes. I've got the injuries from my neck, back, and ankle. And sometimes, between the matches, which is I found the most difficult moment, I had to step so hard so I wouldn't feel the pain from my ankle. So in the quite nearly ended my career, the doctors, the therapists come to talk to me. They would suggest me to finish or to start the career. They said if I would continue, probably I will sit on the wheelchair for my rest of life. Through my many years career, I won 18 world titles, including 4 Olympic gold medals. My dreams of a little girl to an Olympic champion has come true. It's not just talent, but my hard work and persistence that made everything happen. So, I'd like to move on my second story from ABC to Cambridge's PhD. Before I take retirement, I started to think, is that I become the coach? This is quite normal. Or I need to do something else. So I said to me, probably I to do something else, more challenging, more interesting. But how can I compete with you, talented young people. What is the result come out? And I have to improve my education. So I decided to go to Tsinghua University. Tsinghua, is one of the best universities in China, like Cambridge in the UK and MIT in the US. Probably you are someone come from Tsinghua here? Yeah, I'm sure. Yes. The pictures shows the first time I registered in Tsinghua, that's a photo. And the second one, which I took the first lesson from English courses. The professor, Chen Musheng, talked to me and asked me, what's your English level? And I said, really the beginner. And she said, can you read? I said, no. Can you write? I said, no. Professor Chen said, okay, read the 26 letters first. And what I remembered, I tried so hard, put in a capital and a small letter together. Even I can't complete in 26 letters. That time is in November 1997. I felt I'm a worst student in Tsinghua. Luckily, through many years hard training, my competitive spirit come out. I have to show I'm not that bad. So I'm studying very hard. I don't know what's happening for my hair. Why? Hardly to remember the vocabularies, like crazy pronunciation. But I don't know what's happening for my hair. Why I slept, and over the night I can see so many hairs on the pillows. I'm a little bit worried about if I continue doing like this, I will getting bored. But thankfully, they stopped someday, and I'm still get my hair. But really, I got my bachelor degree from Tsinghua. And I continue spend the next 2 years in the UK to study for my master's at the University of Nottingham. And when I finished that in 2002, I started to think about, maybe my pictures, I just mentioned the memories, the beautiful memories, a little bit jealous that time, a lot of students at graduation ceremony. I thought, I don't need to wait. Nice life. I would like to try to apply Cambridge. And finally, I got it. You can see there's a student card. Are you the same with me? Not same? Not same. Okay, right. This is the student card. I got it. I registered in January 2003. And I spent a lot of time in university library, South Front, floor 6. If I eat in the canteen in library, want to save time. For my dissertation, for my topic, Olympic branding and global competition, the case of Beijing 2008 Olympic Games. 4 case studies of global brands, over 40 executives with more than 100 hours of recording transcript into 600,000 words, which I did the interview. So many CEOs. And it's extremely hard work I have done. I found most of the articles, I think I read hundreds and hundreds of articles and literatures, have done massive work. When the Cambridge PhD, I found it is so tough. Even before, I'm go to the University Cambridge here. Many friends and even my parents and the teachers from Tsinghua, they said to me, probably you not go there because you are famous. If you can't graduate from Cambridge, that will be very embarrassing. Like China, we have a saying, you lose face. So, finally, Viva coming, and I asked my supervisor, is any chance to visit it, the Viva? What kind of situations? And my supervisor said, no way. This is top secret. You have to find out for yourself. I asked him how long normally will take. And he answered that, you are good enough, maybe 30 minutes. If not, maybe take all day long. But how about the average, I said. And he said, probably 3 hours. And he said to me, you will enjoy the Viva. I said, no way. So, that day, the Viva started. I entered the room. There are 2 examiners already sit there. They're quite friendly, but I can feel the pressure from the air. I'm so nervous. I felt this like Olympic finals. So I took my bag and I didn't take out my dissertation. But I saw the 2 examiners. One examiner had a long list of questions on his paper. Another one marked almost 4 in my dissertation. I saw, wow, today is a really tough game. So one began that the examiner said to me very seriously, you only can answer what we asked. Very serious. And but during the Viva, until one very specific number they've been asking for, from that moment, I took out my dissertation from my bag and find out where does the numbers come from to answer the question. And they had a little bit chatting. And finally, they smiling, talk to me. Congratulations, you passed. From that time, I'm so happy. I'm really so relieved. 5 years, finally, I got it. And I took almost 3 hours along. And when I go out, I call my supervisor. I said to him, I'm passed. Why just finished? He said, great. I can feel he also very anxious. So finally, the graduation ceremony, you can see the photos on 30th of November, 2008, along with my husband and my son. Thanks for my family members, all the support. I've been studying here for 5 years. And not only, I think, the 5 years, in total, for my whole education, since November 1997 to November 2008. 11 years from ABC to Cambridge PhD. Thank you. Thank you. The third story, a long road to Olympics. The so-called 100 years Olympic dream started from the 3 questions to the Olympics. Actually, one young man from China wrote an article to publish on the newspaper. He be asked 3 questions about Olympics. The first one, when can we participate in the Olympic Games? 2, when can China win Olympic gold medals? 3, when can China host the Olympic Games? To answer the first question, Mr. Liu Changchun participated in athletics in the Summer Olympic Games in 1932 and answered the second question that Mr. Xu Haifeng won the gold medals in shooting in 1984. To answer the third question, China made the first effort, and we lost 2 votes to Sydney. We come back in 2001. I'm honored. I represent Chinese athletes. I did both final presentation. So since 3 questions, which is published the newspaper in 1908, which is just London hosts the Olympics. So actually during the bidding periods I was one of the ambassador of Olympic bidding. And I personally want to share with you my story. One day, I went to shopping in the supermarket. A lady like this, middle-aged lady, recognized me and came over to talk to me. And she said, Deng Yaping, you have to work harder. Let Beijing hold the Olympic Games because you are working for the IOC. And you know the IOC members. And they got the votes. I don't know why. At middle age, the staff working in the supermarket asked me working harder. And I said to her, why? And she told me that if Beijing hosts the Olympic Games, my neighborhood will reconstruct it, and we can move a better apartment. I don't know how to answer her. But when I work to persuade each IOC member, I always tell them the story. I understand that the Olympics, we've been waiting for 100 years as a nation, as a country. My people really are cherishing. But for the Olympics, also for the Olympic movement, also need to go to China because we have 1.3 billion people. And we have 400 million young people. So definitely win-win situation. So one Mr. Samranch, the president of the IOC, announced the winner is Beijing. The whole delegation, members jumped up and shouted out with joy. And all Chinese people, particularly in Beijing, ran out into the streets and gathered together to celebrate the success. You can see the photo. It's just amazing. There were many people go onto the street, even sit down in the car because it's all crowded. They can't drive anymore. And the bar, they're all free for everybody. And you can drink all without pay, something like that. Amazing. This is 100 years Chinese dreams for Olympics. Through 7 years hard preparation, and finally, in the end of closing ceremony, President Jacques Chirac commentated, the 2008 Olympic Games became a truly exceptional games. I was working for organizing committee. At the beginning, I was working in the marketing department. We raised the fund, find more partnerships, sponsorships for the Olympics. And also later, I worked for the Olympic Village as a sportswoman from the village to give all news and for the media. So 2008, really a special year, you know. We reached medal table ranking number 1. We won about 100 medals. We become the number 1. And not only for the medal tables, but also the Olympics left great legacy for China, as well as in Beijing. You can see the photos. Before 2001 and after 2008. You can see a lot changes. That Olympics bring many benefits for our ordinary Chinese people. The quality of lives and many quality of constructions, roads, airports. Really, we benefited from the Olympics. Also, the Olympics provided 1.3 million jobs and added 105 billion yuan, about 12 billions in pounds, in terms of Beijing's GDP. In the post-era, which is I wanted to talk my next dream, is my dream is the sports for all. In the post-Olympic era, the sports industry starts to boom. I'd like to introduce, also, I wanted to make new contributions to this, using my PhD knowledge and many years Olympic experiences, and also many Chinese people started to play more and more sports and spent more money on sports. There are main 2 reasons. First one, because the Olympics, they were encouraging so many young people to participate in sports. And the second, Chinese people getting wealthier, and they wanted to have a better life and a quality life. So obviously, they will need sport to do more activities. And from international experiences, when the average income of citizens passes $5,000 US, they increase their consumption in sports and entertainment. Last year, I founded, actually, the Deng Yaping Sports Industry Investment Fund. In total, about 5 billion, to raise the sports awareness for more people. Here, I will take a few examples. My friend, Mrs. Chen, she believed the health and the character building are important for her kids. She sent her kids to football club, and the training fee is about 1,000 pounds a year, only once a week after school. And in total market value of sports training from 5 years old to 18 years old is over 10 billion pounds. So, recently, so many Chinese fund and big companies, they bought many European football clubs. And also, there are many football stars go to China to open academy or school or training programs. So the football, always Chinese love and hate. It's a difficult feeling sometimes. But still a lot of parents want to send their children to play or to enjoy the beauty of football. Mr. Pi Jiyuan, he is my colleague. He loves playing basketball and enjoy the collecting basketball shoes. We have so many boys, I think in particular, they are the fans of NBA. And they have kind of a hobby to collect the basketball shoes. And some of the famous brands cost more than 1,000 RMB, about more than 100 pounds. But for my colleague, he just buy it. He has over hundreds of pair of shoes. And, they're just a hobby. And then they talk the shoes online. It's just fascinating about it. The market value of sports equipment in China reached 240 billion in 2014 and continuously growth to 280 billion in 2015. Huge market. And the last one, Mr. Mao Zhaqing, is a very good friend of mine. He started to run marathon 5 years ago. And he ran and finished famous 6 marathons in the world. And this photos actually is he ran the London Marathon in April 2015. In marathon, now it's a kind of fashion in China. In 2016, there are 328 officially registered marathon events in China. And the developing sport industry is a sign of economic growth. However, there are still a lot of people who suffer from poverty, disease, or disability, whose dreams should not be ignored. Actually, I came from a very ordinary Chinese family. My father, just a ping pong coach. My mother, she worked for the textile factory. I've been helped by so many people, and finally I can reach and achieved my dreams. Once I have this kind of capability, I also wanted to help those people who are in need. So, firstly, I donated some of the money from my prize money in Atlanta and built a Deng Yaping Hope Project Primary School in Shanxi province. And in 2004, we started gathering most of the Chinese champions. I think now we have over 50 world champions, Olympic champions as well. We set up the NGOs called 10 China Laureates Championship Fund to help poor children. And over 13 years, we've helped over tens of thousands of children, assisted more than 30 schools and charity organizations. And you can see the photo. This boy, which is I took them to play ping pong. Actually, this boy is a kind of a mental problem with it. And also, another boy, when the Wenchuan earthquake happened. You know, Wenchuan earthquake hit it very heavily, and in 2008, just before the games, the boy lost his parents and lost one leg. When the disaster happened for him, he just, can't say anything. He's so upset. And the doctor talked to him and knows he is the table tennis fans. And the doctor said to him, if the world champion can play with you, will you be happier? And the boy said, no way, they won't be here. You like. And when the doctor found me, we like to go there and to talk with him and to play few shots to him. I said, of course, I can go. And when I went there and talked to him, during the whole process, playing, talking, and he have no say anything, no words. But I can feel when I hold him, and give him a hug. I can feel his body was shaking all the time. And I can feel the excitement and really, I think, shocked for him. He never thought this has really happened. But when I left, the doctor said the boys had a big crying and talked to me. He will getting better because finally he relieved his emotion. And also he relieved his emotional feelings. So I think the boys, the miracle maybe, the dreams, and my appearance, I wanted to let the boys to light a new life. Maybe something happened for him. To conclude my speech, before I have another examples actually, is Zhao Shuai. You can see he is a disabled ping pong player. When he was 4 years old, he had car accident. And when he had a car accident, his father taught him to play ping pong. And his father, not the coach, but is the fans of ping pong. And when he started to play, he showed he has a talent with ping pong. Not long ago, only 5 years, he started to win the champions. And, you know, he lost the left arm. The right side, probably you can see very clearly. The right hand, the fingers lost almost the functions. So he only can tie the fingers with the rackets, and can play. Otherwise, he can't hold it. So that he won London Paralympic Games, men's singles, and continuously winning the Rio Paralympic Games last year. And I'm touched by his story. Why I personally saw him. He's really a positive young guy. I was the university together to set up Deng Yaping Sports Scholarship. So we offered him to go to university to have a further education. So I'd like to help the disabled athletes among a lot of talented young people to have a chance to study abroad. So to conclude my speech, I'd like to share my personal thoughts. No matter how far away my dream is, no matter how hard I strive to achieve my dream, I will always give my whole heart to fulfill my dream. If I can make my dreams come true, I believe you can too. So to finish, today, I'm so honored, and I know this time is a difficult time for you because of examinations. So I should thank you again. Come here to listen my speech. So finally, I will show the short video with a very famous actor. So please sit back and relax. Thank you.